Hey, what's up guys? Today I want to make a quick video showing you guys 5 simple steps you can take to instantly improve your spreadsheets inside of Google Sheets. Now here's a random spreadsheet with a bunch of data in it and then like a totals at the bottom here. And the first thing I would do to make the spreadsheet look and work a bit better is I would wrap the text around the headers. Now what this does is this basically makes it so you can read the entire header. So click on this one here to highlight that entire row, go to Format, Text Wrapping, and then hit wrap. Now it's going to change the size of the row so I can read the entire header here. And while I'm here, I would probably bold this top header. So just click bold to make it a little bit more bold and stand out. And then the second thing, and then what I would do is I would clip the text on everything else. So if you see here, the text overflows to the next column. It makes it look a bit messy. So let me highlight every other row except for the header one. And then I do that by clicking here and dragging down, go to Format, Text Wrapping, and hit Clip. So you see here now it clips it, looks a bit neater, and I can always make this a bit wider to show more of that column. Now the second thing I would do to make this spreadsheet work better is I would freeze the top row. Now when I scroll here, you'll see that I lose that top row, which makes it hard to see what these numbers mean without scrolling up. So let's freeze the row by clicking here to highlight the column, go to the row, hit View, Freeze, and up until current row. Now when I scroll, that first row is going to stay so that I can basically understand what these numbers and data points mean. Now the third thing I would do to make this spreadsheet better is I would move this totals row to the top of the spreadsheet. And the reason for doing this is if you want to keep on adding data to this, then you're going to have to basically insert a bunch of rows all the time, and then you're going to have to change this formula because it's only going to go up until here. So if you move it to the top, you don't have to worry about that. You can add as many rows as you want, rows of data, and then this totals row will automatically update. Now the way that you move around rows is you just click here, hold down so that fist kind of clenches, and then just move it wherever you want, right? But since this top row is frozen, we can't do that. We can't move it past the frozen row. So let's unfreeze that really quick. Go to View, No Rows, and then let's go back to that totals row, and let's drag it to the very top like this. Now what you can also kind of change the color of it so it looks more like a totals row to you. So let's just make it maybe this color, and then let's make it something like this color here, and then we can even bold it if we want, like that. You can also add a little gap space in between it if you want to make it look a bit better, kind of like this. And then let's also just change this header to a different color as well. Okay, cool. And then what you want to do is you want to change the formula so that instead of the formula ending at cell E56 in row 56, let's just delete the 56 so it goes from E5 to E, press enter, and then let's drag this across like this. And then now let's go back and freeze that header row, click on that row up to current row, now it's row 4. And then now you see here if I add in like 10,000 units, it's going to automatically update without me having to do anything, which will help you save a lot of time. So let's delete that. Now the fourth thing you want to do to the fourth thing you want to do to instantly improve this spreadsheet is you want to add drop-down menu options. Now you want to do this for any columns that have the same options for entering data. So for example, like a sales agent column, let's say it's always going to be the same 4 or 5 or 10 sales agents. You want to have a drop-down menu. Now this is super important for keeping the data the same format all the way around and keeping the spreadsheet neat and organized. And it's also really important if you ever want to build data analysis on top of this spreadsheet. So if you ever want to know how many units were sold by like each specific sales agent and you want to use formulas to do this, it's important that they're all formatted correctly and the data is validated. And even for like columns like yes or no, so let's call this column delivered and the answer is yes or no. Instead of having them just type in yes, no like this in different formats, I'm going to give them a drop-down menu option. So the way to do this is to highlight wherever you want the drop-down menus. So let's highlight all the way down. You can just press Command-Shift down arrow or Control-Shift down arrow on a PC. And then we're going to right-click it, scroll all the way down, hit Data Validation, change the criteria to list of items, type in yes, comma no, and hit save. Now what this does is it's going to flag it if it's not in the correct format. So let's change this to yes, no, and yes. Now it's much more organized. And then I'll change this color as well. Now you also want to do this for more complex options like sales agents, for example. And the way that instead of doing it the same way I did before, you want to do it on a separate tab. And let me explain what I mean. So let me show you what I mean. So go to Add Sheet. Let's call this one, let's call the Sheet drop down menu. And then let's call this column Sales Agent. Now what you want to do is you want to type in all the options that you have for your sales agents, for example. So Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, James Harden, I think was everyone. And then go back to your sheet. Oh, and then LeBron James was the fourth option. And then you want to highlight this entire column again, the same way as before. Right click it, go to data validation. But this time, let's keep it at list from a range and then click on this icon over here. Click onto the second tab and then highlight all of your options. You can highlight as many options as you think you might have. So let's say we're gonna have like a max of 20 sales agents. Hit OK and then hit save. What this does is this will pull the drop-down menu options from the previous tab like this, right? So if I want to add in a name, I can just click here and then type in Michael Jordan. I can also just kind of start typing and then it'll pop up like this. Now, if you ever want to, the reason why that I want to have it in a separate tab as opposed to just like a yes/no option is because sales agents come and go, right? So if you ever want to add a new name, so let's add my name, Michael Heat. I can just add it to this tab here. I'll bold this. And then if I go back to my previous sheet, then my name is going to automatically appear. So you can basically add and delete as many names as you want to this, and you don't have to go through and like change all the settings, right? So that can be really helpful. All right, and then the fifth thing you can do to automatically improve this spreadsheet is to have a dedicated notes column, but instead of typing the data in, typing the notes in, let's use the comments function. So what you want to do is, so here where it says delivered on January 22nd, you basically have no idea who wrote that, when it was written, what happened to it, right? And the way that I think is best for this is to right click it, let me scroll over, right click it and then hit comment. And then instead of typing delivered on January 22nd there, I'll type it in the comment, delivered on January 22nd and hit comment. And I can delete this. So this way now you see here that you know who left the note here and then when. There's going to be a timestamp on it, right, and a date. And then I can reply to myself or someone else can reply to me. So I can say confirmed delivery January 25th and hit reply. So you'll essentially have a running thread of notes and then you'll know who left it, when left it, and you can kind of follow up with it a little bit easier than just continually typing into the cell. Now I like this better than leaving comments like in random spots like this, like what happened here, because a lot of times there's going to be comments scattered throughout the entire doc and it's a little bit hard to navigate and figure out like where all the comments are, and you can sometimes miss them. This way, if it's in one dedicated cell, you know all the comments will be in this section over here. All right, guys, those were 5 tips that you can use to basically improve any spreadsheet that you're working with. I hope you found this helpful. If you guys have any questions about this or any other videos that you want to see, leave a comment below. And if you guys want to learn how to build sales and marketing dashboards inside of Google Sheets and Google Data Studio, make sure to check out the course I have in the description below. Besides that, make sure to like and subscribe if you guys want to see more tutorials like this. Thanks.